I don't want to ever give a false impression that it's easy, because it's really, really not easy. And I also don't want to give a false impression that it's like a once and done job. Like, yay, I learned some stuff and worked on myself and partnered with God in every way, and ta-da, here I am, finished product. Because it's not like that at all. It's a forever journey. Well, not forever, our whole lives on earth journey. Right now, I am coming out of a autoimmune relapse crash. People call it different things. But basically, it's got me to thinking, this is a really good time to bring a really real talk message on the reality of taking self-control of our own healing and future and life and recovery and all of these things. So, I have an autoimmune disease that I've had for about, I was diagnosed, I think 6-7 years ago, and 3 years before that were, they were pretty awful. I was bedridden a lot, and I did feel suicidal. I wasn't suicidal in the sense that I would have killed myself, but I wanted to just be done with it. I wanted to just be with Jesus, and just, it was so hopeless, and there was no diagnosis for so long. But anyway, I got my diagnosis, and brilliant. The injections gave me my life back. Since diagnosis, it's all good because I inject, I keep on top of my levels, and do the right things, and I live a normal life. But I've got ill from it again. That's why this eye is droopy and smaller. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. And I just thought to myself, this is such a good opportunity to get real about the other side of what I'm so passionate about. I am so passionate about how we can take better self-control of our healing and our wholeness and our recovery and our future and our character in partnership with God. I'm so passionate about how much we can transform and grow and heal and recover when we apply how God has made us, when we apply the way He made our brains, the way He made our endocrine system, our microbiology, our autonomic nervous system, as well as our soul, our mind, will, emotions, as well as our spirits brought to life by His Spirit. The power that raised Christ from the dead lives in us, and yet most of the church is the walking wounded, and I was one of them. I mean, to some degree we all are constantly, but I mean debilitating wounded. I mean dysfunctional wounded. Jesus did not die just for us to cling on till eternity and meanwhile scrape through life with loads of hang-ups and addictions and self-sabotage and all these narratives in our head that hold us back. He didn't there's so much more for us than that. I tried all the typical conventional stuff to deal with all the self-sabotage and the lack of self-discipline and the self-hate and the self-bullying and the extraordinary procrastination and all of these things and the trauma wounds that were unresolved. And I tried a lot of what is conventionally recommended in Christian circles and in psychology circles and medical. And it was when God led me on this path of discovery of our triune beings, interconnected, and how we have to apply, when we apply the physiological design that He made us in, as well as the psychological, the emotional and the spiritual, And by the way, the environmental social is a massive part too, but like one bit at a time. And so yeah, I am really, 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 really passionate about the fact that it works, like real transformation, going from night to day, like real seeing this new creation of a self really truly unfold. It works, but it takes so much self-determination, but it's so worth it. It is so worth it. It's worth it for our own lives and experience and joy and peace and happiness, but it's also worth it for the church, for the lost and who we present Jesus to, the lost as, for our children, for our children's children, for everybody that we bump into and affect and rub off on and have an impact on. It's worth it for everything, for the kingdom of God. It's worth it in so many ways. And I think it's actually the fact that it's really hard that compels me to labour the enthusiasm and excitement that it works. But yeah, in doing that, I don't want to then, on the flip side, mislead and give a false impression that it's not that hard, and that once you've done it, it's all good and roses and dandy and everything's fine. Dandy, rose and dandy, where's that even come from? Is that even something that comes from anywhere? Or did I just make it up? But when I was starting to get better and feel better yesterday, the thought came into my head, like, why do I do this to myself? Why am I here again? Because the truth is, if I keep on top of my injections and I sleep the amount that I need to sleep and I get the amount of rest that I need to get, then I'm like highly functioning and I don't get ill. It's brilliant. But repeatedly, I find myself missing injections, going nights without enough sleep, non-stop busyness. Sometimes it's because of conferences or things like that, but then I'll pack stuff around it, and at the time I'll feel like, but I feel great, I feel fine, like it's all good, even though I know that all of a sudden then, boom, like it hits and whoosh, I'm like crazy ill again. So I was thinking to myself yesterday, I was like, the thought came to me, why do I keep doing this? Like, I know better. Why have I not learnt this yet? But you know, I know the answer. I know why. It's because I have very deep ingrained, kind of in some ways, 40-year-old narratives wired into my brain and my being. Narratives that hold me back, narratives that drive me when I should be pressing the brakes, narratives that justify choosing productivity over wisdom, narratives that combine guilt with rest, narratives that logically, rationally, I know are unbiblical, unwise and unhealthy, and yet, and do you know what, I have like, oh my gosh, dealt with that sort of thing so much, but I still see it coming back and creeping back with this. So I know why. So it made me think, I'm going to share this because I don't want to ever give a false impression that just because partnering with God in his design as well as in his Rhema presence, partnering with him, just because it really does truly revolutionize us and lead to extraordinary transformation and really does bring about radical change and growth and healing and recovery, just because I'm so passionate about the truth and the fact that that's real, I don't ever want to give the false impression that that means it's easy. Or that means it's a once and done. Like, you learn a bit, you fix one thing, and boom, everything's okay now. I don't want to give that impression because that's false. That's a false impression. The truth is, it's a journey that we will stay on until the day we pass away from this earth. Then when we enter the other side of eternity, finally, that's when we will really have reached it. But none of us are going to get there before that. So it's an ongoing journey. even though I've been on this journey for some years now and learned so much and invested so much into it, here I am, still doing what I don't want to do. Still, I'm not there, I'm not done, I'm not finished, I'm not complete by any standards. I am night and day from where and who I used to be. And even as I experience the horrible illness and time and overwhelm of how behind I'm getting on stuff and the actual just suckiness of being that ill, even as I experience all of those things, I'm sometimes blown away by how differently I experience those things to how I used to. Like before, I would have made it so much worse by what was going on in here. Like I would have added insult to injury. I would have dug the hole so much deeper myself from my thoughts and my reactions and my negative narratives and like lies that I believed about me and God and life and everything. So yeah, even when there's an area where we haven't grown and transformed and recovered, we're still a better person going through that than we were before we transformed and grew and recovered in the other areas where we have. So it's an ongoing journey, and the wonderful, glorious thing about it is the snowball effect. So it really is true that the more we do it, the easier it gets to do it, and the more we change and grow and transform and recover and all of these things, the more that happens, the more our character improves, the more our resilience improves, the more we heal from trauma wounds, the more we change the negative, unhealthy, toxic, dysfunctional wiring in our brains, the more that we heal the autonomic nervous system that's been corrupted by the things we've been through or the things we've believed. The more we do that, it snowballs and becomes easier and easier to do it more. And as I've said before, we get to a certain point in this journey where carrying on in the journey gets fun, and be encouraged. If you're at the beginning of this journey, then let's face it, it's not fun. It wasn't fun for me. It was just desperate. I was just desperate, and there was no fun. But now it's fun. I enjoy the journey. So if you're at the beginning, let me encourage you. Just keep ploughing on, keep learning. Just do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes, because it is so worth it. And you are going to get better, and you are going to recover. And whether you watch videos, whether you read books, whether you take courses, whatever you do, please be on this journey. It is so worth it. Even when it goes wrong, even when it sucks, even when you're asking yourself, why am I still doing this? It's still a million miles better than what it was before. Shorter message today, shorter video. I'm sure there is a lot more that I could say on this topic and maybe should say on this topic. I've got so much to share with you all. But it's just time, it takes time, and I've got to, it's one bit at a time. Got so much to share with you all, but I'm still recovering, and so I'm going to be cool, and I'm going to be kind, and I'm going to say I love you all, and I hope this blesses you, and I hope it helps you, and onwards and upwards.